Welcome, friend. In a world full of noise, may this moment be your gentle pause. Today, we'll explore a teaching that invites stillness, clarity, and inner peace. Have you ever sat at a family dinner, surrounded by laughter and conversation, yet felt a profound sense of emptiness inside? It feels as if you are behind a wall of glass. You can see and hear, but you cannot touch or be touched. You might speak, but your words seem to vanish into the air, unheard. You might carry a sadness in your heart, but no one truly sees it. This is one of the deepest kinds of loneliness, the experience of feeling lonely with family. It is the paradox of being physically close, yet emotionally miles apart. This feeling of disconnection is a silent suffering for so many of us. But what if there was a way to dissolve these invisible walls? The Buddhist teachings offer a profound insight into this pain, not as a curse, but as a doorway. It is an invitation to learn how to truly connect, not just with others, but with our own soul. Let us begin by understanding the source of this feeling. The teaching calls this state near in body, far in heart. Why does this happen? From a Buddhist perspective, the root is in our way of communicating. So often, our conversations are not a true meeting of hearts. They are a battle of egos. We speak not to share, but to be right. We listen not to understand, but to find fault and prepare our reply. Our mind becomes a noisy courtroom. We put our loved ones on trial, judging their words and actions based on our own expectations, our past hurts, and the stories we keep replaying. When we only listen through this filter of our own pain, we cannot truly hear the pain of another. We are trapped in our own world, and they are trapped in theirs. This is the very definition of loneliness. The teachings point out that when conflict arises, our instinct is to blame the other person. It is a defense mechanism of the ego. It is much harder to look within and recognize our own contribution to the distance. We build invisible walls with our assumptions and our silence. We want to be understood without ever making ourselves vulnerable. We want to be seen without ever truly looking. This is not a fault. It is a human condition, born from a deep, unmet need for safety and love. But by recognizing these patterns, we take the first step toward changing them. The path to connection is not about forcing others to change. It begins with us. It begins with the simple yet profound practice of deep listening. Or as Thich Nhat Hanh calls it, compassionate listening. What is deep listening? It is the practice of listening with only one purpose: to help the other person suffer less. It is a gift of your full presence, a sanctuary you offer with your attention. When you practice deep listening, you are not listening to analyze, to advise, or to correct. You put aside your own stories and judgments. You simply listen. You listen with your ears, your eyes, and your heart. This practice is based on love and compassion. When someone feels truly heard, a miracle happens. The tension in their body begins to release. The armor around their heart begins to soften. They feel safe enough to share what is truly alive in them: the fears, the hopes, the hurts. By offering your silent, compassionate presence, you are giving them the space to heal themselves. How do we practice this? Find a moment. Perhaps you can say, "I have some time, and I would love to just listen to you. What is on your mind today?" Then, you breathe, and you listen. You don't need to have the right answers. In fact, the pressure to fix things is what often prevents us from truly listening. Your presence is the answer. Your attention is the medicine. As the Zen master Thich Nhat Hanh taught, to connect with another, you must first be truly present for yourself. By anchoring in your own breath, you become a calm, stable presence for others. When you listen in this way, you are not just hearing words. You are hearing the feelings beneath the words. You are hearing the unspoken pain and the hidden longing. This is how connection is born. Not through brilliant conversation, but through sacred, silent understanding. It is a practice of love in action. Once the ground has been tilled by deep listening, we can plant the seeds of healing with our words. This is the practice of Ayinyu, or loving speech. Loving speech is about using words that are true, kind, and constructive. It is speech that has the power to build, to inspire, and to heal the wounds of the past. The foundation of loving speech is non-harming. Before you speak, you can ask yourself, are my words coming from a place of understanding or a place of anger? Will they create more connection or more separation? A key practice of loving speech is to first acknowledge the other person's feelings. Instead of jumping to defend yourself, you can start with, I understand that you are feeling hurt, or I can see that you are tired. This simple act of recognition validates their experience. It tells them, you are not crazy for feeling this way. I see you. This alone can diffuse so much tension. Then, you can share your own feelings and needs using I statements, not, you always make me feel, but I feel sad when we don't connect at the end of the day. I long for that closeness. This is not blame. It is honest, vulnerable sharing. It invites the other person into your inner world, rather than pushing them away with accusations. Combining deep listening and loving speech creates a virtuous cycle. The more you listen, the more you understand. The more you understand, the more your speech becomes naturally loving and compassionate. This is how we transform a home from a place of lonely individuals into a true family, a community of hearts who know how to care for one another. This journey from loneliness to connection is not easy. It requires courage. The courage to be silent when you want to argue. The courage to be gentle when you feel hurt. The courage to be vulnerable. But every step on this path brings you closer not only to your loved ones, but to your own true self. You realize that the love and understanding you seek from others is a reflection of the love you learn to give yourself. True connection begins with a single moment of presence. One breath. One moment of deep listening. One word spoken with kindness. That is all it takes to begin. So today, I invite you to try. Choose one person in your life, perhaps the one you feel most distant from, and offer them 5 minutes of your undivided, compassionate attention. No agenda, just listen. You may be surprised by what you hear in their heart and in your own. This is how we begin to heal the loneliness, one conversation, one moment of true presence at a time. Thank you for being here. If this teaching brought you calm or insight, consider sharing it with one person or many. May you walk gently today with peace in your heart. Until next time.